Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Hari Charya Ashtotara Shatashi Shamad Swankar Sesa Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Yes. I don't know. Is it? Let's see. Okay. All right. Hey, Jamal, do you think you could get a songbook, Vaishnav songbook, and then also a pin, like a pin, not like to write, like a needle, you know, from the puja room. We're gonna have some demonstrations here. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. No. Oh, you heard that in the lecture? Yeah, there was one devotee in Vrindavan. He wanted to get initiated by Indra Prabhu. So Indra Prabhu. So he approached him and he said, "Can you initiate me?" And then, Indra Prabhu said, "No, I don't. I don't do that." And then this devotee said, "Okay, fine. Can you at least channel my beads?" So then Indra Prabhu said, "Okay, I'll channel your beads." So then this devotee gave him his beads. So then, Indra Prabhu chanted however many rounds he chanted, whatever, 32, 64, whatever he was chanting. So then the next day he gave him the beads, this devotee. And this devotee said, "Oh, thank you very much." He said, "Now can you give me a spiritual name?" When Indra Prabhu said, "Don't try to cheat me, So, like one to make the garlands. Yeah.
I thought you might want one of those first.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this morning we were reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, entitled Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 9, Dhruva Maharaj Returns Home. We're on text 4. Satam vivakshantam atadvidam harir Gyatvasya sarvasya cha hridya vistita Kritanjalim brahmama yena kumbhuna Pasparsha balam kripaya kapole pole Satam vivakshantam atadvidam harir Gatvasya sarvasya cha hridya vistita Kritanjalim brahmama yena kumbhuna Pasparsha balam kripaya kapole Satam vivakshantam atadvidam harir Gatvasya sarvasya cha hridya vastitaha Kritanjalim brahmama yena kumbhuna Pasparsha balam kripaya kapole Okay, word translation. Saha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tam, Dhruva Maharaj. Vivakshantam, wanting to offer prayers describing his qualities. Atatvidam, not experienced at that. Harihi, the Personality of Godhead. Gatva, having understood. Asya, of Dhruva Maharaj. Sarvasya, of everyone. Cha, and. Hridi, in the heart. Avastitaha, being situated. Krita Anjalim, situated with folded hands. Brahmayena, just consistent with the words of the Vedic hymns. Kumbhuna, with his conch shell. Pasparsha, touched. Balam, the boy. Kripaya, out of causeless mercy. Kapole, on the forehead. Translation. Although Dhruva Maharaj was a small boy, he wanted to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in suitable language, but because he was inexperienced, he could not adjust himself immediately. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being situated in everyone's heart, could understand Dhruva Maharaj's awkward position. Out of his causeless mercy, he touched his conch shell to the forehead of Dhruva Maharaj, who stood before him with folded hands. Purport. Every devotee wants to chant the transcendental glories of the Lord. Devotees are always interested in hearing about the Lord's transcendental qualities, and they are always eager to glorify these qualities, but sometimes they feel inconvenienced by humbleness. The personality of God, being situated in everyone's heart, specifically gives a devotee intelligence to describe him. It is therefore understood that when a devotee writes or speaks about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his words are dictated by the Lord from within. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter. To those who constantly engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord from within dictates what to do next in order to serve him. When Dhruva Maharaj felt hesitant, not knowing how to describe the Lord for one of sufficient experience, the Lord, out of his causeless mercy, touched his conch shell to Dhruva's forehead, and he was transcendentally inspired. This transcendental inspiration is called Brahmamaya, because when one is thus inspired, the sound he produces exactly corresponds to the sound vibration of the Vedas. This is not the ordinary sound vibration of this material world. Therefore, the sound vibration of the Hare Krishna mantra, although presented in the ordinary alphabet, should not be taken as mundane or material. Om Meganitamanandasya. Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshulan Melitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karirvachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dintarinam Vancha Kalpadribhishcha Kripa Sandubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gauda Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Although Dhruva Maharaj, translation again, although Dhruva Maharaj was a small boy, he wanted to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in suitable language. But because he was inexperienced, he could not adjust himself immediately. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being situated in everyone's heart, could understand Dhruva Maharaj's awkward position. Out of his causeless mercy, he touched his conch shell to the forehead of Dhruva Maharaj, who stood before him with folded hands. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada begins, he says that every devotee wants to chant the transcendental qualities of the Lord. And it says devotees are always interested in hearing about the Lord's transcendental qualities. Devotees are always interested in hearing about the Lord's transcendental qualities, and they're always eager to glorify these qualities. But sometimes they feel inconvenienced by humbleness. So yeah, the devotees, they're always interested in chanting about Krishna, hearing about Krishna. And the non-devotees are always interested, or people who are not dedicated to Krishna or dedicated to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they're not interested in hearing about Krishna, and they're interested in so many other things, so many other topics. So, within the realm of religion, whatever the particular religion may be, whether it's Christianity or Judaism or Islam or Hinduism, there's always this idea of prayers, offering prayers. That's there within every tradition of the world. And the question is, okay, well, what do people pray for? So the idea of praying to God is good. And even if it's for, you could say, mundane things or material things, it's also good, at least they're going to God. But it's not considered to be the highest form of prayer, to pray for mundane things. So some years ago, we found, Damodar Kumar I think found this, but I held on to it. It was this advertisement. Looks like kind of an old advertisement. It says prayer rug. Advertisement for this prayer rug. So this lady looks very happy, right? Looks very blissed out. She says, blessed with almost $47,000 after using prayer rug. It's pretty happy. So there's these quotes here. People, they say what happened, after using the prayer rug. So, in Maryland, my husband listed 7 things that he wanted God to do for him. He sent it off the same day, which was the second day of February, and last Saturday. God blessed us with $10,700. He went out and bought us a car. Enclosed is a donation from both of us. It's from LB, whoever that is. So I'll just read a few more here. Thank you so very much for sending me this special prayer rug. Praise God. I am so happy. God gave us this property, so we all call it God's 5 acres. He gave it to us to take care of for Him. It is so beautiful. I read next in New York. I read the contents of the letter. I did use the prayer rug. My sister and I inherited my grandmother's house. The next day we found a buyer. We found a metal box, and inside were items of jewelry. We divided the items, we sold them, and each received $5,000. Thank God for the blessings. So it goes on and on and on, how they're collecting money. And anyways. God blessed me with $5,000. God blessed me with the big 6-room house. God blessed me with $10,000. God blessed me with, God, healed my throat. Or God gave me a job. So, okay, fine. They're going to God. God may be helping them with their material things. But ultimately, what about the love for God? As Bhaktivinoda Thakur would point out, that people who pray for things, pray to God for things, they love the things. They don't love God. God is order supplier, as the saying goes. So the spiritual teachers, spiritual masters, acharyas, they give us the proper mood of prayer and the proper ways to pray. In our Vaishnava songbook here has many songs, prayers. There's a song which Srila Prabhupada said was his favorite song. This is Ishta Devi Vigyapati, prayer to one's beloved Lord, from Prarthana by Narottam Das Thakur. So I'll just read, it's a few verses. It says, O Lord Hari, I have wasted my life. Although I have taken this rare human birth, I have not served Radha and Krishna, and thus I have knowingly drunk poison. The treasure of divine love in Goloka Vrindavan has descended as the congregational chanting of Lord Hari's holy names. Why did my attraction for that chanting never come about? Day and night my heart burns in the fire of the poison of worldliness, and I have not accepted the means for relieving it. Lord Krishna, the son of the king of Raj, became the son of Shachi, and Balaram became Nitai. The holy name delivered all those souls who were lowly and wretched. The 2 sinners, Jagai and Madai, are evidence of this. O Lord Krishna, son of Nanda, accompanied by the daughter of Vrishabhanu, please be merciful to me now. Narottam Das says, O Lord, please do not push me away from your reddish lotus feet, for who is my beloved except for you? So as was mentioned in previous classes, prayers could be divided into different categories. And this prayer, this song, actually has all the 3 different, you could say, aspects, or 3 different categories within this prayer. So he's he's just one. You could say aspect of the prayer is that a person will describe their fallen condition or their wretched condition. So that's what Narottam does. Oh Lord, Hari, I have wasted my life. Although I have not taken this rare human birth, I have known the drunk poison, I have not worshipped Radha Krishna. So he's admitting his fallen, wretched condition to Krishna. And then there's the idea of describing, and he goes on, it came from the spiritual world, the holy name, I didn't have any attraction for it. My heart burns in the fire of worldliness, but I have not accepted the means for relieving it. So he's admitting his horrible condition he's in, or at least he's taking it, thinking he's in. So that's one aspect, admitting one's fallen condition. And another aspect is glorifying Krishna. So glorifying Krishna. Krishna, you came, you're the son of Raj, you came as Shachi, you became the son of Shachi, which means Mother Shachi, you became Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram became Nitai. So Lord Balaram became Lord Nityananda. And he's glorifying because what is he saying? That the holy name delivered all those souls who were lowly and wretched. So you brought the holy names and you delivered them. And who's the evidence of this? Jaga and Madai, which you could find descriptions of them in the Chaitanya Bhagavat of there. So that's one aspect. You glorify Krishna. We glorify Krishna. And then the other one is that you ask for something. So you're not asking for a house and 6-bedroom house or $50,000 or but you're asking for something spiritual by nature. And what is that? He says here, Lord, please do not push me away from your reddish lotus feet, for who is my beloved except for you? So he's saying, please keep me close to you. It means service. So those are the three different aspects. Now, if one is proud, then they actually cannot pray. Why? Because they're thinking, first of all, they do not understand, they do not realize, they do not reflect, and they actually do not think that they are in a wretched, horrible condition. They think they are wonderful. They think they are great, and so on. So therefore the proud cannot offer prayers like that. And then in terms of glorifying Krishna or God, they don't want to do that. They want people to glorify them because they're so great. And in terms of asking for something, they also don't feel the need to ask God for anything, for any help, any guidance, anything like that. Why? Because they feel that they are very strong and they are very together and people should be asking them for help, whatever that may be. Help with, I don't know, some type of support that they think they could give to people, whether it's money or whatever they could offer. So, in other words, they do not see the need of prayer and therefore they cannot pray. And even if they try to pray, sometimes it happens, their prayer is very shallow. It doesn't go very deep, the prayer. So, and therefore those who do not become humble, those who do not develop humility, some of them never get to the point of praying, but those who try to pray, although proud, if they do not develop the humility, they actually will give it up. They'll give up the process of prayer, which means they'll give up religion, they'll give up spiritual life, they'll give up Krishna consciousness, and they'll fall down from their position. And we see that all the time. I mean, all the people who I've known within the last 10 years who had difficulties this way or that way. Means difficulties with faith, difficulties with controlling their sensual desires, difficulties with loyalty to their guru, and so on. They were all proud people. And they were proud since the day they walked in, and they're still proud as could be. So, in other words, they never worked on that. And they may have tried, but they weren't able to check it. So, therefore, within all spiritual traditions, this point is always stressed, that one has to develop the proper mood. And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the proper mood is that humility and tolerance. Trinada peace, Nichena, Tora peace, Ishna, Manina Manadina, Kirtani Siddhahari. As humble as a blade of grass, as tall as a tree, to think all praise belongs to others, none belong to me. Such qualities attract the Lord to bless him with the power to chant his name incessantly until the final hour. So, the humility, the tolerance. And a way in which you could say the pride manifests is in so many different ways, but I mean, speculation itself is means not taking guidance of devotees. That itself is an aspect of pride, speculation, and also not want to take guidance, so on. And also this idea of condemnation, so condemning others. So what does that mean, to condemn others? What do you think? Anybody want to say? Yeah, shun them, put them down, write them off. Prabhupada says what is it? Give the dog a bad name and hang it. So this condemnation. Now in the life of Jesus, he was a revolutionary personality, and many people didn't like that. As even Prabhupada said, he said that if they knew what I was doing, they would actually put me in prison. That's what Prabhupada said. So in other words, the fools of this world have a tendency to persecute and kill and so on religious leaders. So in his life, apparently there was, as recorded, there was a woman, and she was having illicit affairs with what seemed like somebody else's husband, adultery, something like that. And all the local village people, they weren't very happy with that. And actually they were so displeased with that they were ready to kill her with stones. I mean, can you imagine being killed by stones? People stone. Yeah, to stone someone, yeah. Yes. So to stone someone, throw stones at them and kill them. So you can imagine that. I mean, imagine what that woman was feeling. I mean, all these angry men with their angry faces on, with their hands raised up with a stone, ready to kill her. So apparently Jesus appeared on the scene, and then he told them. Does anyone know what he told them? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. So in other words, he said that all of you are also sinful, so why are you stoning her? So whoever is free from that sinful propensity, sinful activities, let him throw the first stone. Then everybody put their stone down, walked away. So she was saved from death. So this idea of condemnation. So in other words, a lot of people have a very, what is it called? Inflated conception of themselves. And therefore, they'll condemn practically everybody. Which is quite sad. So that is an aspect of pride. Another case in Jesus, he went up to apparently a man went up to him and said, he was kind of morose, and he said, "Oh, I seem not to be experiencing much when I pray. I'm not experiencing the ecstasy in prayer." And then Jesus said, "Okay, well, give up all your attachments, give up all your wealth, and join me. And then you'll experience." So then the man became very morose again, and he just walked away. And he didn't join Jesus. And that's when Jesus said that famous shloka, quote, verse. He said that it is easier for a camel to be thread through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. So, when's the last time anybody's seen someone try to thread a camel through the eye of a needle? Can't do it. See, this is a needle. This is the eye of a needle. See, we're show and tell here. So you can't. To put anything through the eye of a needle. What besides a thread? What else are you going to put through there? You can't put a camel through this, or an elephant. So it's very difficult for a rich man to go to the kingdom of God. So what does that mean practically? It means that, okay, it doesn't mean that rich men can't go to God. Like we have our Ambarish Prabhu, who's the heir to the Ford fortune, right? He's giving so much money for the big temple in Mayapur. Sure, he'll go back to Godhead for that and many other things he's done. But so he's a rich man, but he's not bewildered by that. He's not attached. He's not bewildered. He's not in Maya due to that. But a lot of people are, and a lot of people feel that yes, there's no need for prayer. There's no need for religion. There's no need for anything like that because I'm taken care of with my money, my big bank balance. But practically what's being said here is that Bhogeshvara Prasaktanam Taya Paritachetasam, that those who are too bewildered by material opulence, right? Is that it? Yeah. Too bewildered. Too attached and bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service doesn't take place. So if we're attached to whatever it is, it could be so many things, which you could say are aspects of material opulence, whatever it may be, then that determination doesn't take place. So the idea is that when we come to Krishna, we have to try our best to surrender to Krishna, and to give up whatever false concepts we have of ourselves and the world. So that practically means that we have to really, it's like a full surrendering process. And we should have faith that the devotees, who you could say are chosen to take care of us, chosen to look after us, which we all should feel and accept that there are such devotees. To think that there are no devotees that are chosen to look after me, take care of me, etc., is really not good. That's also an aspect of pride in which people lose Krishna consciousness. So we should feel that the devotees, and accept that the devotees who are chosen to look after us, take care of us, etc., are at least to some degree, depending on their purity, being that whatever they're saying, whatever they're doing, is being dictated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As Prabhupada states here, it is therefore understood that when a devotee writes or speaks about Krishna, his words are dictated by the Lord from within. And if we don't have that faith, then how are we ever going to make progress? And how are we ever going to take anything that anybody says seriously, besides our own minds? We won't, and then we'll end up just another. You know that word bozo? The word bozo. Bozo.
Just a reflection of what tranquilness
Yeah.
is what bliss means.
Yeah, tranquilness, what bliss means, yeah. So, so we should have that faith and know that just as Lord Vishnu made all the arrangements, he sent Narada Muni, the great spiritual master guru, to guide Dhruva Maharaj. Narada Muni gave him the process. Dhruva Maharaj engaged in the process. Vishnu came. He gave him darshan. He let Dhruva Maharaj see him. He put, now on this verse, he's putting the conch shell on his head to bless him, so he could say so many wonderful prayers. And by that darshan, by that blessing, by that association, Dhruva Maharaj becomes Dhruva Maharaj. Means he's a king. He rules the citizens in a righteous way for so many years. So similarly, we should have that faith that, yes, I have come to this point by the mercy of Krishna. He has made so many arrangements. And similarly, just as Vishnu blessed Dhruva Maharaj, he'll bless me and empower me to do what I'm supposed to do in Krishna consciousness, whatever that may be. All right, does anyone have any questions or comments? Okay.
So, is it working? Can you hear me on the speaker?
I don't know. They say you have to hold it really close. I don't know.
Krishna? Oh.
Okay.
Too close. Okay, so you earlier in the talk you had mentioned that you were discussing pride and prayer and how those who are proud cannot pray. Then you mentioned these devotees in the past. One thing you had said, they have trouble with loyalty to the guru and some other things, and it was due to pride. But being engaged in devotional service, we hear that the devotee develops all good qualities. So why is this quality of humility not being manifested within these devotees?
Well, because they never really surrendered. They thought they surrendered, and maybe many other people thought they surrendered, and maybe others thought they were pure devotees. Like, oh my, wow, he's a pure devotee. Look how many shlokas he knows. Man, look at that smiling face dancing in kirtan. He must be a pure devotee. But they never really surrendered. And even if sometimes people do surrender, and then you could say they take it back, right? So, but specifically that verse that you're referring to, which you could say in many ways is misquoted, because every word is important in the translations and the purports. How does that verse start? Yeah, Mahad Gunas. Yeah, so it's saying that by engaging in Krishna consciousness, all good qualities are developed for one who's like a devotee, and the materialist has no good qualities, right? He's on the mental plane. At any moment, he could fall down from that standard of good qualities. Yes, Bhakti Bhagavata Kinchana. So, but specifically it says there, as far as I remember, you could check, but it says pure devotees. It says pure devotees. So, from all the descriptions we hear, Kapila Dev and so many other, there's different types of devotees, and it doesn't mean just because one's a devotee, they develop automatically all these good qualities necessarily, but it says pure devotees, which is true. Pure devotees do have those qualities. So again, we're talking about there's different devotees. Some devotees, they go to a liquor store and have some beers, and then they go out to downtown to eat. It's and they chant and they come to the Sunday feast. They're devotees, but they may have not. May have not super advanced. So that's the idea. But in terms of loyalty to Guru, because loyalty to Guru means you're accepting the superiority of somebody. And you always accept that superiority. It's not like, my Guru knows so many shlokas or so many verses from Bhagavad Gita, and I've learned all those verses. And my Guru knows how to give class, and hey, I know how to give class too, now, right? In other words, you may have developed certain things that he has developed, but you always remain in a humble position as inferior to that person, superior. To that superior person. Just like Prabhupada. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his guru, what he did, he had 64 mats in India, and so many disciples, right? Spreading Krishna consciousness. But Prabhupada, he took it out of India, took it all over the world. Quite an achievement, even in relation to so many acharyas. But he always kept himself. It's not that he was thinking he was better than Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He never thought that. He said, "This is the mercy of my spiritual master." So that's the problem, that people are too proud. They have inflated conception of themselves, and therefore they try to see themselves as inferior to their guru, but over time, if they're not able to check their pride, it just gets to them, and no, he's just like me. He's lower than me, or at best just like me. They feel that. So God bless them. Yes.
Haribol. So it's interesting you were analyzing the different aspects of prayer.
Yeah, you were mentioning that some days ago.
Yeah, there's a section in the Nectar Devotion called Submission. I told you what submission means. Submitting a prayer. It doesn't mean submitting. But anyway, it has those three aspects. We also did a little seminar a few years ago on Vandanam, which is often thought of as prayer. But then you realize, well, wait a minute. Vandanam also means bowing down. Vandeham Shigara. So we analyzed that, and it has the other aspect, which is part of what you mentioned, taking a humble position and vocalizing it, is offering obeisances. It's almost like a physical manifestation of that. And sometimes you find that the Dainya Bodhika part, the part of self-condemnation, is like the whole song, you know. And then at the end, this Hari Hari Vipalai says, "Just don't kick me away." You know?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I mean, each one of those is kind of scientifically, the glorification sets you apart from the worshipful person, and then naturally follows that you feel humble. But actually stating it helps you to feel it. This is another thing. Is that's the way the mind works. If you really say, Shadanamasi Hare Prabhu Marari. Is that this? I just learned this verse. You are my only shelter. I know the other one is Padamakana Niko Nanabat Pada Padamashocha Bato Nachamat Pada. You are, there's no one as merciful as you, and there's no one as wretched as me. Now you may be, just before that you think, well, I'm not such a bad person, But if you actually chant it and you say it, and you realize, oh, this is a statement of a great devotee, then you'll start to actually realize. So the prayer is essential because really we're supposed to be chanting Hare Krishna prayerfully. That's 2 hours of steady prayer. And so that mood of feeling oneself Srinada Bhisuni Jena, we know how essential that one is, that's Dainya Bodhika. So it's this whole aspect here where he wants to offer prayers, he can't offer prayers, then he offers prayers. It's all very important to study.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. There's two actually. The one at the last one. They're both in that kind of mood. Shadanamasi Hade Pabom Madari Jaya Madhusudana Vasudeva Vishnu. Nidabadi Kalusharinam Kalushari Kadanang Mam Nahi Gati Rahitam Jagadisha Raksha Raksha. So, my dear Lord Hari, you are my only shelter. Shadanamasi Pabom Marari. All glories to you, Vasudeva and Vishnu, Murari. I'm constantly performing so many sins. Nidabadi Kadashal Kadanam, and I have Gatadahitam. I have no means of counteracting these sins. I don't know what to do. Gatadahitam. Jagadisha Rakshara, O Lord of the universe, please protect me, please protect me. Very rich prayer. And the other one was Padamakaran, called Namavat Padapam Mashochadato, Namavat. That you, my dear Lord, there's no one as merciful of you, there's no one as wretched as me. Now think about this carefully and then do with me what you think is correct. I'll leave it up to you to decide.
Yeah.
But you don't feel the proprietorship. That's the test and all of the qualities of such.
Yeah, Jyotika Prabhu is saying akinchana, that you feel you don't own anything in this world, and then all the good qualities will develop, engage in devotion. So yeah, I heard many devotees kind of, hey, they're devotees, but they did this and they did that, and why are they? So, well, it's not saying that all pure devotees, akinchana. So. Yeah, all this is prayer. I mean, there's so many prayers, and the whole idea is just to kind of tap into it, to focus and concentrate and tap into it, like Dina Krishna Dasi Koi, right? Ayena Moro, Shri Radha Govinda Prema Sarayena Basi. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna praise, may always swim in love of Shri Radha and Govinda. So it's amazing. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the Dhanabodhika is this expression of fallenness. And the Lala Shamayi is the desire for a certain state, that's only supposed to be for those on Baba.
Yeah, this right here, right? Yeah. This. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So you're saying this is for prayers for people on Baba. That's what you're saying.
That's what it says in next devotion.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, Prabhu gave us that, and some of those songs also
Yeah.
are the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to a lecture by Tamal Krishna Goswami, and he was saying that in the years past, devotees, during Prabhupada's time and maybe after, they communicate with Sridhar Swami a little bit. So, anyways, he asked him the question, Prabhupada's godbrother. And apparently Sridhar Swami said, oh, yeah, that was that's really advanced, the Tulsi prayer. And he said, we wouldn't even sing that, in their whatever. So, yeah, it doesn't have to, so it's quite interesting Prabhupada introduced that. So, all glories Prabhupada. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.